Hey, what's going on guys? The Langbanger here. I have a new profile for you and I wanted to go over domain monarchs. So for anyone that knows me, this is easily one of my favorite archetypes ever created. It's just tribute monsters and you just get really good effects with when you tribute. So just over time, these have evolved and the game has changed. So that's just a little backstory on that. So this deck did get a little stronger 2 sets back now. Lightning Overdrive. So I'm a little late here. Dawn of Majesty is now out. I don't think there's really anything of use in that set for this deck, but yeah, let's just go into the list here. So it's totally up to you if you want to use these new cards, but you do have 3 Erebus, or 3 Ether, 3 Erebus, 2 Majesty Fiend, Kuraz, and Vanity. So those are all the tributes. It's really weird. I mean, I think it would be too good, but if only Vanity Fiend and Majesty Fiend, they've swapped their stats. Vanity Fiend is just an insane card, but you can't use a lot of your Monarch plays with it. I mean, of course, you know, you can just drop it. Neither player can special summon. That's really good, but kind of in a way, I'd rather see Majesty Fiend just because of the stats. 1 Kuraz, just so that you still have some to break up your opponent's plays. I don't know, not too much to go on to there. You have 3 Idea, you have 2 Idos. That feels really weird to say, but honestly, I'd rather see Idea, of course. So that's why I'm using 3 copies. I don't think I would get through all 3, so in my opinion, I don't need 3 Idos. It's kind of some shitty reasoning. But honestly, just to fit these new cards in also, I had to do some cutting. So that's kind of my reasoning. Here's one of the new cards from Lightning Overdrive. Anchamufrite. And I will stop for a second. So if you have no cards in your extra deck except Anchamufrite, you can destroy this card, then draw 1 card. You can only use that effect once per turn. So if you're not using an extra deck, I don't know why you would not be using this. It's pretty cruddy to see 2 of this card, you know, turn 1. So I was kind of iffy on using 3 copies, but it is a draw 1 card. So honestly, I think anyone can tell you that once this deck gets rolling, it is actually pretty hard to beat because Domain is one of the best cards in the game. It's just insane. You have Domain and a tribute monster, it's going to be very hard for your opponent to break out of that. So the other newer card is Proof of Proofless. So if you control no special summon monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 monster. So I'm kind of unsure on how many copies of this card I wanted to use. I thought 2 copies was perfect, but I could see 3. I mean, I could also see 1 if you feel that you don't need the extra fodder. So you may be wondering, well, if I'm using Idea and Eidos and then Stormforth, why would I really need this? And the reason being is if you summon Idea and something happens to that Idea, you can at least special this from your hand and continue your plays. So there's actually some merit to this card. So that's that. You'll also see Proof of Proofless is a dark, then you have the Eidos, then you have the Erebus. So technically, you could use Allure of Darkness, but the way I see it, like, you really don't want to be getting rid of any of those cards. It's kind of weird. I mean, I feel like if I wanted to use Allure of Darkness, I feel I would be using even more darks in here. That's just kind of weird. So, I mean, you could use like more Vanities, more Proof. I'm sure that there's other darks that I'm not thinking of. So that might be bad reasoning. I mean, I guess the one dark you would want to get rid of is Eidos, or I suppose if you did go through multiple Erebus or see multiple, I don't know. So I was just iffy on that. So those are all the monsters. Onto the spells. You have 3 Domain, you have 3 Pantheism, 3 Tenacity, you have 3 Storm Forth, you have 2 Desires, you have 1 Return, you have 1 March. Those are the spells. I don't think I'm missing anything, so to be honest, like, I built this deck this morning and I was going off memory, just going through my cards, so I don't know if I missed any, you know, key cards. But it's kind of weird to use cards under 3 copies just because of Pantheism, because if you are using less than 3 copies, then you use the Pantheism effect, you know, you don't know what you're going to get, which may not really matter because getting some sort of resources is fine. Then I'm using 5 traps. So I'm using 2 Prime and 3 Erupt. So that's kind of where I was just saying with Pantheism, like, I don't really envision me wanting to search Prime Monarch, really. I feel like we have so much support just over time now. You just have other ways to tribute, but its recycling ability is good, and sending it off one of your Monarchs is also good. 3 Monarchs Erupt. I definitely went with that because just shutting off effects. Yeah, not much to it. So no extra deck. Yeah, just let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Peace.